Hi, in this video I will show you how I made the doll shoes using just this kitchen plastic wrap and glue gun. The process is very chill, and of course everyone's gonna make mistakes for the first times. This is like my around third or fourth time when I'm doing this, but just watch the video and follow the steps maybe roughly, and do it for each shoe, as you can see in the little note above. So the first thing that I did was wrapping the feet in the plastic wrapper. Second thing I'm gonna do, that you can see here, I am making these fabric platforms for my doll's shoes, because these are going to be platform shoes. And so that they would hold on the feet better, I used needle and thread to connect the fabrics. Then I put these on the feet to just see how it's going to look, if the size is alright, and yeah, they might fall off, but they should hold on the feet at least somewhat nicely, so it's not very unhelpful during the process. And the next thing I was doing here, I used a glue gun to connect the fabric with the plastic wrap. And just remember, really important, that the plastic wrap is in several layers, because you don't want it to melt through. You don't want the glue gun's glue to melt through everything and just ruin the whole process. So yeah, just be careful. This is how I connected that, and this is also where you can see, okay, you couldn't actually see, but I was making sure that where the fabric is covering everything, in between there's also glue. And here I was just, after the first layers were a bit dried up, I was filling in the platforms. And you shouldn't do that, all of that in one go, and for both shoes in one go, because you need some time for each layer to kind of dry. But I was doing this for the first time with platforms, so yeah, I made a mistake. I put the plastic thing from a cut off doll box on the really hot glue gun's glue, and look what's happening. It was melting and it was deforming, and that is not great. That is actually really awful. So with the other shoe, I decided to be a lot more careful, and actually worked out perfectly. But yeah, I'm a bit upset that it didn't work out with the first one, but we learn from our errors, and I actually have never seen someone else do this. Probably many people actually have done this before. But there's one more thing, by the way, that you can do, and it's not about these specific shoes, but just a side note. If you have a doll that doesn't have very beautiful shoes, or that doesn't have shoes at all that fit on her feet perfectly, then what you can do is wrap her feet in this plastic wrap in many layers again, but really tight ones. And you can just take a bigger feet doll shoe, and you can fill in the shoe with glue gun and just stuck the doll's wrapped up feet inside, and just wet it dry, and then just pull it out, and after it's dried, and you will have custom shoes that look the same from the outside, but that fit this specific doll perfectly. So okay, anyways, back on the subject. Here you can see that I just cut the sides of this shoe that had dried up a bit, because then it's not so hardened yet that you couldn't just cut the needless glue around the shoe easily, so that you don't have to put more effort in later, and then just filling more glue in where you feel like that you need more glue, because there for sure will be some air bubbles inside, and that's why you should just do it in layers. But yeah, here you can see that I am trying to fix the one that melted, but the other one looks flawless, and that's only because I added the flat piece of plastic on after the glue had dried up a tiny bit at least. So that's why the one that I'm working on here now, it's a bit messed up, but of course you can never see that when the doll is just standing on doll stand, so it's totally okay. And I'm doing this for my ball jointed doll, and the reason why I wanted to do it for her is because even though she's like 1/4 scale, and she should be able to wear my other 1/4 doll's shoes, she isn't, because her feet are so long and they are so big, and they are going to break and damage the shoes from other dolls, or well, I'm just like not gonna be able to put it on her. Okay, so here, yeah, I am measuring, I'm still cutting off the needless parts, but basically what I'm gonna do next is to decorate the top of the shoe, because you can kind of see that the bottom and the platform is kind of finished. And yeah, I'm not showing the process for both shoes overall, mostly because that would be a very long video, and this video is already a bit long for a tutorial. If I am watching a tutorial, I want a really fast tutorial, so I would rather actually watch a TikTok. But I wanted to make this video, so I made this video. So here you can see me removing the plastic wrapper from the inside when the shoe is taken off now. Because some of it is gonna be melted, of course, to the glue gun's glue, but most of it, you can take out. Yeah, so I'm taking it out, and then you can actually put it on the doll and see, okay, is it too small, is it too big? It should be too big perfectly, because then you can also put some fabric inside, so it represents like more comfy shoe. Here I think I hadn't decided to do that yet, but I was just trying to make it her size. So this shoe was a bit way too form-fitting, a bit way too like a glove on her foot, which is not perfect, because actually you would perfectly want to have a bit bigger shoe that isn't perfect on her feet, because you might want to wear, you might want to put socks on her. But I'm not gonna be able to do that with these shoes, because one shoe is smaller and it fits on her foot perfectly, and even though it fits perfectly, it's not the perfect scenario in this case. But you live, you learn. So here you can see me putting the fabric inside, so our girl has a better feeling, more comfy feeling in this shoe. And then I'm just using the tip of the pencil, the one that doesn't leave stains, of course, to really make sure that it is kind of distributed. And here you can see me starting to create the top part. Why did I cut those little holes? Because after that I will have to, when I actually glue it on, I will have to cut the hole, because I don't want to measure perfectly. I just want to do everything in like a chill way, like where you as an artist, like you kind of don't know like what's gonna be the outcome. So that's like my style, and that's why I'm doing things in a way that's like a bit messy. But yeah, here I'm gonna be decorating the shoe. It's just to really hide all the connection parts from being visible, because I don't want them to be visible. I want to hide everything, I want to make everything beautiful, so that's why sometimes my creations might be a bit over the top. Also, be careful and don't this looks bad, but like don't directly touch the really hot glue with your hand if possible. Of course, you might get burned, so this is not something that I say that you have to do. I'm just showing you a tutorial how I do things, and please just be safe. That's like the most important thing in all of this. But yeah, this is how I was decorating, and each part of the decoration just kind of comes to me. You can prepare every material that you are for sure gonna use beforehand. You can also just be messy and like look for materials while the glue gun is on, like while you are doing everything, Just remember about the glue gun being turned on, please. Try not to leave it on, just like while you do other things. But yeah, so basically that's how I do things, because when I start something, I am really curious how it's gonna turn out, and I don't want to make everything kind of so predictable. For example, like this part came to me, you know, like putting the decoration also where the shoe, no, where the foot kind of goes in. I don't know, I just find it like so cool. I just find it like so cool and so nice. Just like, look, that's so cute, and like you can never know how the project is gonna turn in the end. Sometimes if I make a lot of mistakes, my projects or the clothing that I make for my dolls, it's maybe gonna fit some other dolls, and I have made so many errors, and I think it's just beautiful, and also makes you, you know, makes you more confident in what you do, because the more you embrace mistakes as just learning process, I don't know, like the more confidence you actually get, the more you are just ready to just jump into things without always thinking about like how it's gonna like turn out, like I'm just like gonna waste materials. No material is wasted, because every second of your life is just like very valuable. It's very it's like it's priceless. You cannot really put price on that. And here you can see that I'm thinking, okay, maybe I add these. Okay, not gonna lie, I didn't add them because they felt a bit too over the top for me, and I know that for people that know me, that might raise a question, what, over the top for you? That's crazy, you are just always like way too extra and stuff like that. But yeah, I decided not to do that, because super glue actually would have been better for that, but I decided to just leave it as is. So here you can see the final look, and yeah, I was really happy with that. I use these shoes on her all the time. These are the only shoes I have for her. If you want to see more, ask. If you want to see any more tutorials, even about stuff that I haven't even decided yet, that I even would, you know, possibly do, that I haven't even considered, trust me, I will make a tutorial. I don't care, even if it's me doing that for the first time, even that can be a tutorial. It's like gonna be fun and experimental, and you can do anything you want. And have a really nice day. Good luck with everything. I wish you the best health, the best fortune, and yeah, love yourself, and it's all great. And yeah, see you on my next video. Bye. So today I will be singing Avril Lavigne's song Wish You Were Here. I can be tough, I can be strong, but with you, it's not like love. There's a girl, kiss the shades, behind this wall, you just walk through it, and I remember all the slaves of said, let them running through my head. You're always there, you're everywhere, but I know I wish you were here. All those crazy things you do, everything manages to win for church. You're always there, you're everywhere, but I know I wish you were here. Damn, 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 what did I have you here, here, here? I wish you were here. Damn, 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 what did I have you near, near, near? I wish you were here. Love, the way you are, it's who I am, don't have to try hard. Always say like it is. And the truth is I really miss all those crazy things said, left and running through my head. You're always there, you're everywhere, but right now I wish you were here. All those crazy things change, don't compare to one for church. You're always there, you're everywhere, but right now I wish you were. Damn, 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 what do I have you here, here, here? I wish you were here. Damn, 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 what do I have you near, near, near? I wish you were here. I wanna let go. I just don't let you know. No, I wanna let go. I wanna let go. I just wanna let you know. No, I wanna let go. Damn, 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 why do I have you here, here, here? I wish you were here. Damn, 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 why do I have you near, near, near? I wish you were here. I wish you were here. Damn, 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 why do I have you near, near, near? I wish you were here. But yeah, that's me with my husband who's in the other room. That's me with my other country bestie, and that's what with my just living further away bestie. So that's how I feel about you guys. And that's also how I feel about people that are not commenting on the videos. Go to the comment section. I wish you were in my comment section.